Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am pretty excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a first impression on the lightest shade of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation powder. I've not done a foundation review or video or anything in so long because of my low body rules and just zoning in on the products that I really enjoy, and I decided that foundation, although sometimes it's fun to try something new, it doesn't really make me that happy, and I felt like I was doing it not for the wrong reasons, but I just was having so much foundation that I don't even reach for, or I would buy foundations that aren't even like for my skin type. So it's been forever. It's been a hot minute, but I actually received a PR package from Too Faced, which had the new foundation powder and the Mr. Perfect brush here, which I used to apply it today. So I figured I would go ahead and do a lightest shade video on this because I do have the shade Cloud. This is a series that's was on my channel for a while. I do have a full playlist of like the lightest shades of different foundations in case you are super fair like me. This series is inspired by Nima Tang because she does the darkest shade series of foundations, and I thought it was such a brilliant idea. This is definitely inspired by her, and I'll make sure to leave her channel down below in case you don't subscribe to her. So in today's video, I'm going to first give you a little rundown of the foundation, the claims, everything like that. Then we'll jump into the application where I did a first impression, talked about how I felt about it upon application, and then I'm going to do a wear test. And at the end of the day, you will see my full thoughts on the foundation thus far. It's not a review by any means. It's just a first impression. I will keep y'all updated if I end up using this more in the future and loving it, or if I end up hating it. No spoilers, no spoilers. So this foundation retails for $37. It comes in 25 different shades, and it is described as an undetectable medium to full coverage powder foundation. I was a little cringy at the thought of trying this because I'm not a huge powder foundation fan, because I have dry skin, and I just always thought like powder foundation, like that just doesn't sound good to me. So I only have one other foundation or powder foundation shade to compare this to, which I will do in a moment. But upon like seeing like powder foundation, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's gonna work for me. So it does say though that it says get naturally radiant, flawless, smooth skin in seconds and touch up on the go with this do-it-all powder foundation. Use it alone for easy natural coverage that lasts for 12 hours, or over a liquid foundation to set makeup or add additional coverage. I'm not a fan of that idea of adding it over liquid foundation just because I feel like I don't need that much coverage and I just don't want to get cakey. And then it also says it's oil-free, controls shine, long wearing for 12 hours, blurs the look of imperfections, reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and pores, non-drying, photo-friendly, hides redness and discoloration, creamy and comfortable powder formula, 2-in-1 sponge for different coverage levels. Oh, I didn't even realize that. So there is a sponge in here, and I guess the different sides give different amounts of coverage. That's interesting, but I don't plan on using it. And then there's also a little mirror. So there's the shade that I have, which at first I thought was super light, but it actually did work perfectly for me. It's also formulated without gluten and parabens, and it is cruelty free. So really quickly, let's just talk about the shade and do a little comparison, because like I said, I only own one, so I'm just going to show you really quickly. I have the shade Cloud. I'll swatch it. Oh my gosh, my fingers are super stained, so don't mind that. But there is the shade Cloud on my skin tone, which it pretty much matches perfectly. And then the only powder foundation that I have is the Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Face Powder in Translucent from Physicians Formula, which I recently hit pan on, which is exciting. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick little swatch of that. I think this one's actually darker. Yeah, just a little bit. So there's a quick little comparison for you in case you are familiar with the Physicians Formula one. It's definitely a super light shade, which I really appreciate. Alright, so if you want to see what I think about their claims and if I'm enjoying the foundation or not, then let's go ahead and jump on into the application. Alright guys, so jumping right on in, I have not done a video on a foundation in so long. I feel so weird. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. I prime my skin with my Glossier Priming Moisturizer Rich, which is my absolute favorite, and then I'm going to go ahead and do concealer first, just because I figure I may as well get the cream products out of the way before I put down the powder foundation. I never wear powder foundation. I'm sure I went over all of this in the intro, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my BH Cosmetics Total Coverage Concealer in the shade, I think this is 100. So I'm just going to mostly just conceal underneath my eyes because I've got some, like, you know, darkness there, and then maybe just a touch on my acne, because I don't expect a foundation to fully cover that. So I'm just taking the tiny little bit that's left over. I changed my mind. I'm going to put just a touch on my nose. Alright, now let's go ahead and jump on into the foundation. Please do not mind my stained hands. I think I'm just going to go ahead and apply it with the Mr. Perfect brush since it did come with the foundation, and I'll see if I like it. I'll do one side first just to see, and then, you know, if I don't like it, then I'll try a different brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up. Oh, that picked up really easily. Okay. I don't know why I'm so nervous to do powder foundation. I'm going to turn my mirror over so I can see real good and up close what's happening on my skin. Okay. Alright, so instantly it looks pretty matte. Definitely has good, like, I mean, I can see the coverage for it being a powder. Like, it covered up a lot of redness. Honestly, I don't hate it right now, which is kind of weird for me because I was expecting to hate it, if I'm being completely honest. It's definitely more matte than what I usually go for, but I could see using this on a day where I'm in a rush and I'm like, I just need to throw something on my face, cover up a little bit of redness, and then maybe I'd add some highlighter on top. I've got some redness here because of I removed the fallout from my face, and I think what I used irritated my skin. So there's a little extra redness that I definitely don't expect the foundation to cover. But I mean, I don't think it looks bad, like, by any means. It's definitely more on the matte side. I'm so curious to see how it's going to wear throughout the day, but it does not look bad. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I can still see a lot of redness in this area. Maybe I should try and build it up just a little bit just to see what it looks like. Oh yeah. That looks a little bit more drying. Not my favorite look ever. So I guess I would say if you're someone like me who has dry skin and you're wanting to build this up to full coverage, that's when it starts to look dry. One little thin layer is fine. Alright, so I think that looks okay. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my face. Let me tell you the time. It is 2:22. It's a little bit late today. That's a really outdated picture, but it's 2:22, so I'll be back whenever I finish my makeup to kind of tell you my thoughts so far on the foundation, and then I will do a wear test, and then at the end we'll talk about my feelings, okay? It's been so long since I did a video like this. I feel so out of place, but I'll be back. Alright guys, so I just wanted to come back really quickly and show you what the foundation looks like with my full face on. Honestly, I feel like it does look fine. Like, it doesn't look super drying. It matches my skin pretty well. I totally forgot to mention that. It matches my skin perfectly. And I don't know, I actually do like it. I'm kind of surprised. Alright, so I'm gonna zoom in. I just wanted you guys to quickly see what the foundation truly looks like on my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and live my life. I'm probably going to be back in about 6 hours. That seems like a good amount of time. And, well, normally I prefer to do my foundation test longer, but it's already, you know, 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm doing this. So I'm sorry about that. I should have thought ahead, but again, it's been so long since I did a foundation video, I didn't even think about it. So I will see you guys in like 6 hours. Alrighty guys, I'm back. It is 8:27, so it's been just a little bit over 6 hours from the point of when I finished putting the foundation on. I looked at it like an hour ago, but I'm going to go ahead and look again, obviously, with my mirror, just so I can give you guys my final first impression thoughts, which I did look in just like natural lighting. I have a cat hair there. How did that happen? So it's definitely interesting to look now with the artificial lighting. So I noticed it went into my smile lines just a little bit. It's not super indented, not super noticeable, just a tiny bit. Overall, I feel like it definitely does kind of just look like skin. It does not look drying at all. My face does not look dry, which I'm completely shocked by. I've got my mirror here in case you're wondering why I'm looking down so weirdly, but I'll zoom y'all in just a moment so you can see up close what it looks like as well. Alright, so I just have to say that I am honestly just so shocked because I went into this fully feeling like I was going to end up hating this foundation just because everything about a powder foundation just, I don't know what it is. It just sounds like, ugh, like repulsive to me, like powder foundation, like no thank you. But I actually think it looks really, really nice on the skin. It's definitely not a dewy finish, which is what I personally prefer. So I might, if I were using this, go in with like a really glowy setting spray, which I didn't use any setting spray today just to, you know, kind of leave it to the foundation and see how long it lasted for. And I mean, I guess I can see that it slightly wore off in some areas, but I also have a 2-year-old who touches my face constantly, so I don't really blame the foundation for that. So I think it looks really nice, and like I said, I guess it's one of those things where it's like you just don't know till you try it, because this is something I would have never bought myself, but I actually do like it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it upstairs with my like everyday makeup bag because it is super quick, super easy, and like super easy, you know. So thank you to Too Faced for sending that my way to try out. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Let me zoom you in real quick before I forget. Alright, so there is how my skin is looking after 6 hours. So that's everything for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I would love to hear down below if you enjoy powder foundation, or if you hate it, or if you just like never think about it. I'd love to know, because I feel like it's, I don't know, it's not very common. I mean, I guess you see powder foundation a lot, like to putting over a liquid foundation, but I feel like I don't see people apply a powder foundation on its own very often, but it is a nice natural alternative. So I'd love to hear what you all think about powder foundations. And I think that's everything. I don't know why I'm chattering so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.